serious question for my mans out there. Why are you guys not approaching women? What is that about? What is that about? I have seen so many hot guys lately, and we make eyes, we exchange the look, we have the look, and then there's nothing else. I'm like, are you gonna come approach me? Hello, I don't want to be the one to approach you, okay? Because that's not my man's. My man's has, you know, the balls that he has, and he's not afraid to come up to me and say something, say hello. So if you're a man out there, you know, you guys have balls for a reason. Use them. And don't be afraid to approach women, because we don't want to do that, you know? This is just a pro tip, okay? Chime in.
What the fuck is up with men only wanting to be my pen pal? Because I've been building up my roster for the last couple weeks, and not a single one of these men has even tried to have sex with me. Which normally I would say is very respectful, but it's also, we're not even doing anything. You know, we're not hanging out, we're not like going on dates. Why do men just want pen pals? I don't want to be your fucking pen pal. If we're not fucking and we're not going on dates, then what the hell are we talking for? I don't want to talk to you. I got a million other people I would rather talk to other than you. But I'm just like, does nobody just...
They don't want to go the distance.
Nobody fucks on the first date anymore? Nobody kisses nasty in the parking lot on the first date anymore?
You don't finger in the parking lot?
Nobody fingers in the parking lot after the date anymore? What the fuck's going on? I've been out of the dating game for 5 years. What are we, all virgins? I mean, I'm a virgin, honestly, but like, God, nobody's fucking on the first date, second date? God forbid a girl wants a little love bombing, you know? So what? So what? I'm a little bored. So what? I'm a little bored and I want to have sex. So what? God fucking forbid.
So I recently asked men, actually quite a few posts back, why they do not approach women anymore. And sisters, they got in them comments, about 400 comments. And we getting ready to start. Number one, I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. I might have to do a part 2. Y'all are looking for studs? Y'all are not polite. Sisters, y'all not polite? Me Too and feminism. Apparently, they are afraid of being accused of SA. Everyone looks the same. No one stands out or is original. The system, social media, has destroyed y'all. Y'all are not safe. Okay. Y'all said y'all prefer a bear. Now, we're gonna have to expound on that, because apparently there was a poll that says women asked who they feel safe around. They said men or a bear. Y'all chose a bear. The men are salty about that.
So I'm out running errands, and then I look in a mirror. Okay, so besides the phone case, am I giving stud? Am I? It's just cold outside. Am I giving stud? I'll take your... Is it giving? I mean, besides the phone case, yeah.
Oh, I am so sick. I just seen a fine man in Kroger. Y'all, oh my God. I feel like he was looking at me. I was looking at him. But my approaching men days are over with. I don't do that, y'all. I feel like he wanted to say something to me, because, like, we kept, like, running into each other at the store. Because, like, when I first got to the store, I was on my phone. I wasn't really paying attention. I turned around, and I happened to look. I was like, damn, who was that? So then I continued to walk through the store, and I ended up bumping into him another time. And I feel like he wanted to say something, because he ended up tripping over something, because he was looking at me. But then he, like, stopped, and then he kept walking. So then I proceeded to go through the store, and then we end up, like, as soon as I'm turning the corner, we end up, like, coming face to face. So I waved at him, and he waved back at me. So then I'm getting ready to leave the store, and then I end up seeing him. Like, I kind of tried to play it off like I wasn't looking, but I got out the store, and then, like, I was sitting in my car, and I feel like he was kind of, like, looking around to see where I was. Or maybe I might just be delusional. I don't know. But y'all, he was so cute. And, okay, so maybe I might be able to help me. He had I believe he was working. I could have sworn he had an AT&T logo on his shirt. So, y'all, I'm in Dallas. So, if you done made it to the end of the video and you know somebody that's fine that work for AT&T, tell them to slide up.
50% of young men 18 to 25 years old have never physically approached a woman, physically, just even approach. It's done online. You see it on, TikTok. Yo, like you be at a spot and you'll see them take a picture and then they go, yo,
goofy shit.
TikTok, do your thing.
Yeah.
And then they'll find out who this person is. And then you go into the DM and there's this whole process.
You have to, it's very hard because it's like even my millennial generation, like we have to really see that people are very afraid of rejection. Like that's something that I can't even, I'm from the generation where they're hollering at you at the mall. Yeah. Oh, like, oh, you gotta admit, I just had a guy as I was getting my rental car. I was like, oh, I'm going to, I was like, yeah, I got a guy. I was like,
can we be friends?
He was like, yeah, he's like, what? I was like, I'm seeing somebody. He was like, well, you didn't say you have a man. I'm like, it's the same thing. And he's like, well, what's that? But you can't take my Instagram. He won't stop.
And he was being,
that's
scary.
It's not great. But I'm just saying, I'm used to that. These other younger guys, which they shouldn't aspire to be that way, but they can't even muster a hello. It's like, it's the fear that prevents everybody wants peace. I love what you said. I love it because it just breaks it down so perfectly, but it's like, can you even muster the courage to ask that girl out, or are you already consumed by the inadequacy that you feel because you see all of these other men with all of this money, life's going so well for so many other people. That's the syndrome that we're living in right now. Yeah. And how do you show up for a woman then? If you don't even feel confident in yourself.
Just talking trash is really all it is. You just said that you didn't want a man to approach you. I want him to approach me the right way. So what would be the right way? It's never ending. It's always changing. This is why men get confused. If you continue to change the rules, people don't play. Have you ever heard of that? People just quit playing. They just become uninvolved. Oh, well, man, I just quit. They did this, and this. And for me, when they did that, I was out. That was the end of it. So you guys have to, once again, here we are talking about how men are to be held accountable, how men need to learn how to take rejection, how men just need to come out and approach. Why would I do that? Why? I've already seen enough through TikToks, through Instagrams, through movies, talk shows, you name it, as well as personal experiences, enough to know that you guys just want a man to come up to you, get your attention and validation, and then disrespect him.
Here's the thing. Some of y'all may not care about this list, but some of y'all might want to hear what these men have to say. But let's get back into it because it was a long ass list. 400 comments. Okay? Y'all are not worth it. No peace. Being attractive means absolutely nothing. Okay? That attractive women come a dime a dozen. And y'all are usually trash and nothing but problems. Okay. Always in situationships. Too many bills and too many kids. And it just goes on and on. Okay, now, of course, I am a woman's woman, but some of these concerns are valid because for what I see a lot of times, y'all do be begging and it's tacky. But, brothers. Ladies, are grown men asking y'all for y'all Instagram? Because I really want to know why men don't approach women anymore. I just need to know this. Now, I'm a married woman, so this doesn't apply to me, but I'm sure the single women want to know. Whenever I do go out into an Atlanta social scene, which is rare, it's always usually this scenario. Men with their friend groups on one side, women with their friend groups on one side entertaining each other. Now, mind you, Atlanta is filled with attractive women. So usually when you go into these settings, there are attractive women everywhere. But the men do not be bothered by these women. It's almost as if the women don't even exist. When I was coming up and you were going to the club, men were on your body. Like, they stayed in your face. They stayed hollering at you, trying to dance, talk to you, whatever. But what's happening in the climate today where men do not talk to women?
Well, like she just said a minute ago, being attractive is not enough. Too many times or for too long, modern women have used their attractiveness as a way to get their foot in the door, which I'm not necessarily mad at. It's just that men have had to put up with a lot of BS. They haven't had to, they just have. And now, when you guys say, okay, we're not We're not taking the BS of men anymore. We're going to raise our standards. But you're still coming with the same thing. Oh, well, you know, we're beautiful. Why aren't you treating us like gold? Well, I know you're beautiful, but you're not worth the headache. I guess you guys don't understand. As you've upgraded your services, you've become more to maintain. You become more to run. Like, say for instance, if you want, Google says you can store, or Apple, whichever one says, I will store your stuff, whatever it might be, on my server. Microsoft says it too. Whatever it might be, pictures, videos, whatever it is, whatever is important to you, I will store it on my servers. Fantastic. But I will only give you this much for free. I will give you a bit more space, which is good for a lot of people, maybe 100 gigs for $10 a month. A lot of people will jump on that and say, that's all I need. But then there are some more that say, okay, I need a little bit more space. They say, well, it goes in tiers. You have 100, 200 gig, and then we're going to jump all the way to 1 terabyte. Okay, I need a terabyte. Even though I don't need that much, I need a terabyte. Well, it's going to be more than $10. Now you're looking at $20, $30 to store whatever is important to you. In the same way, men say, okay, whatever is important to you, I will store it. It's going to cost you $10. Or it's going to, in order to handle this, you have to be pretty. Okay, I am pretty. Okay, I will store this. And now, because you have more that you're acquiring, men are saying you need this plan. And for this plan, you need a little bit more. Well, I'm pretty. You can't just be pretty now. You now have to be a respectable woman. Well, okay, I'm a respectable woman. Okay, now you're a respectable woman. Now you have to be this type of woman to get this level of treatment. And that's when women crumble. Because as they try to go up and upgrade, you now have to upgrade your tiers. Right? You now have to go to the next plan. Men have set out the plan. Kevin Samuels told you that. Men have set out the plan. You didn't want to hear it. So now you're learning the hard way. Unfortunately, this is the plan. And if you don't get on this plan, you will not have access to the benefits.
Okay, so this doesn't surprise me, and I think it's a few reasons. People are still used to dating apps. So approaching somebody in person isn't really the norm anymore. And so people have gotten out of practice of that. And also, I do feel like this is a side effect of the Me Too movement where every guy was considered like, oh, you can't compliment women anymore, creeps. And now men are nervous.
And then from the guy perspective, guys feel like, especially in this new generation, when you're talking to a woman, you have to be like a level of care that is almost impossible to achieve.
Michaela.
Who cares what we say? Let's talk to the
Michaela, how
Gen
old
Z.
are you?
I'm 22.
You're 22. Okay, so what's your experience with dating right now? Do you have a boyfriend?
No. Opposite of a boyfriend. Nothing. Not even talking to anyone.
And why is that? Look at her, she's so beautiful. Do men ever approach you out at a bar?
No, they don't. They try to get your Snapchat.
Wait, so they try and get your Snapchat and then talk to you online?
Through Snapchat. Yes, they would so much rather talk to you through that and then maybe meet up after that, but no one really ever comes
Do you
up.
like that?
No, it's unnatural, it's awkward.
Okay.
And they also won't take your number a lot of time. They want your Snapchat, not your phone number, which is even weird.
So I met my husband at a bar. It was my birthday. And when I tell people that now, people are like, that is so sweet. Like it's this antiquated thing.
Right.
Why are guys not approaching girls in Atlanta?
Oh my gosh, thank God you asked us. Men grow a fat pair of balls and start doing something. I don't know what it is about Atlanta. I've traveled a lot. Every city I've ever gone to, the men and the women converse with each other. I don't know if they're just scared or they think women are going to be mean or unapproachable. The women in Atlanta are really nice.
One word, insecurity. I've been on first dates where they literally tell me their insecurities and thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that with me. But first impressions are a thing. This guy was literally like, yeah, I don't really love my teeth. If you hate yourself, There's only so much I can do. Like the first couple of times I might be like, no, it is cute. Like your teeth are nice. But when you say it the 5th time, I'm going to be like, you know what? Your teeth are ugly. I'm going to agree with you. If you hate yourself, why should I love you?
They're scared. They'll just start overthinking things. A lot of men, if they do decide to talk, it's bad timing. You shouldn't talk to a woman. You see she's dancing at the peak height on the way to the bathroom. She's focused on peeing, and you shouldn't do it when she's leaving because she's just ready to go. You got to look for a sign. Like if she's looking at you more than once, she either thinks you're a creep or she likes you.
Because they want princess treatment. They just think that like they're hot shit and that like maybe girls should be approaching them. I don't understand.
Whenever women come online and complain about the level of attractiveness of the men that they themselves are attracting, I automatically assume it's rage bait. Because there's no way you lack that much self-awareness to think that you are so grand and above and beyond these petty little men that try and speak to you on a daily basis. Most men shoot where they think they're gonna score. Let's start there. So if a man is a 5, he's probably going to shoot for other 5s, 6s, 4s, maybe a 7 if he's feeling lucky. Most 5s are not going to shoot for 10s unless they feel like shooting for the moon one day. But on a day-to-day, most men are shooting where they think they're going to score. And yes, he looked at you and said, yeah, that girl's probably on my level. She might say yes to me. And if that offends you, feel free to look in the mirror and change some things. And we have to remember that we are not the ones that set our place in the dating market. We have this idea that we are all 10s out of 10s because I said I'm a 10, so I'm a 10. And that's not up to you. It's actually up to the men. And feel free to ask one to see where you rank, because those ones that are coming online and just asking random men, they are getting comments filled with things that are going to make them very insecure in the future. And I don't wish that on my worst enemy. So ask a trusted male friend, would ya?
Red flags in women you want to watch out for. Number 1, women who are not compliant with what you tell them to do, aka women that they're always combative and disagreeable for no reason, always testing you on every little thing. It's a very masculine quality. It's frustrating. It's irritating to be around. And any girl with masculine traits should be at the top of your list of red flags. The next one is tattoos. Any woman that would, can't even say without laughing, think it's a good idea to take a needle and pierce her feminine, collagen-rich female skin with a bunch of ugly scribbles in like irremovable ink shows very low IQ thinking and shows that she's very susceptible to groupthink. Speaking of groupthink, any girl that's got any type of feminist or woke culture or radical left brainwashing, you want to avoid those girls and run for the hills.
Okay, so Dan's content niche is women in America are too masculine and undateable, therefore I go to Latin America to find more feminine, submissive women. Latin women love me. This could be you if you just got your passport. Mole rat looking motherfucker comes on Instagram and he just spews all this red pill BS. People really do eat it up. It's his whole thing. I mean, the content's working, that's why he's making it. You have to travel to another country in order to date women. You're the problem, babe. Wonder why there's a male loneliness epidemic. Well, maybe it's because y'all don't respect women. This red pill passport bro type content is becoming so common where men are saying dating women in America sucks. Go to a country like the Philippines or Latin America and you'll be able to date a woman for way cheaper and she's not going to demand anything from you. Go to a different country to exploit women because they don't know what's going on here and you're turning it into content. That is so disgusting. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you follow me for more news content like this.
You know, if there's anything I've learned being a dating coach for the last almost 10 years now, it's that with the right skills and confidence, you can make anyone out there want you. But the older I get and the longer I do this, I start to realize that just because you can make someone like you doesn't mean that you should. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say that it is so much more satisfying when the person in front of you has chosen you without you putting in all the effort. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's wrong to try for the right girl. I don't think it's wrong to initiate dates and be a gentleman, but that's not the same as changing who you are to fit what you think she wants. In the end, even actors get tired of playing a part.
She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about what you do. She doesn't care about any of the specifics about you or your personality or the accomplishments that you have achieved in your life. All she cares about is what you represent in her mind. You cannot control what a woman and how a woman perceives you. She will only be attracted to you if she perceives you to be either genetically superior that she's aligned with, attracted to your genetics, or that you are offering her some sort of salvation and survival, furthering her life experience. As soon as she feels that you are no longer supplying her with the adequate amount of fulfillment of her fantasy of you, she will leave you, and she will not think twice about it, and she'll probably line up somebody else before she even walks away. Now, to reiterate, this is not evil. This is not a moral issue. I do not think women are bad. This is women's survival. That happens immediately like that. The burden is on the man to deliver whatever she happens to be looking for. But she won't tell you what she's looking for, by the way. She'll tell you what she's looking for on her list of demands, which all women have, and they're all the same. But underneath that, there's something that she'll never tell you, which you either fulfill or you don't. They will never see you as the starring role in their play unless you fit certain criteria that is being activated on a natural instinct of their own attraction. The very best scenario, it's temporary. There's absolutely no way that you can maintain that kind of attraction and that a woman will have attraction for you in that way permanently. So you have to start recognizing and reckoning with the fact that women are temporary in your life. It is what it is. I'm here to just give you the reality of it. Breaking down the rose-tinted glasses that you may have had when you've idolized women and you've put them on pedestals, you've looked at them as these sort of fantasies, and they're not that, and they are coming down very quickly, and that's good. It's a good thing for us all to get real about this, and I want you all to not hate women. This is not about hating women, and I just want to really clear this up. It's about understanding women and their strategies to dating and connection and relationship. Appreciate you all, lads. Hope you found that useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!
The girl in the black, I think I'm in love with her. Go talk to her. No.
If this is you and you are so tired of seeing beautiful women and not being able to approach because you feel anxious or you don't know what to say or you feel like you're going to be coming across as creepy, please reach out to me. There is a strategy so that you never have to worry about going up to a woman and making a great first impression.
But the one thing I see when men are struggling is that they believe that their happiness is going to come from a woman validating them. And they believe that in order to get this, the woman easily has to do the one thing that they are having difficulty for that woman to do. And that is experience this state of reciprocity, where a man does something for the woman and the woman immediately does something back for the man. Well, number one, men are givers naturally. Almost everything we do, we give. Okay, not only through the gift of giving, through the gift of creating life, it comes from the man, the spark of life. We give that to the woman, where the woman is the receiver of that, and she incubates our children, and she nurtures our children and brings them as a gift to us to give back. But that takes time. It's not immediate. That takes a period of almost 10 months to happen. So it's not immediate. We give to her. She takes a while to create in her body and incubate and give life back to us. Also, through the intimate, the act of intimacy. We are the giver. She's the receiver. So we are in the process of giving. But in order to get that from the woman, in order to receive that from the woman, we have to, most of the time, give something. Money, energy, attention, and time. Sometimes we can be who we are. We can be 6'8" the great. Shout out to him. But most of us will never be that. So you must find a way to get access. And most of us have to transact something. Money, energy, attention, and time. We have to give. And what men believe is that women will immediately give back once you're in the spirit of giving. And that's not always the case. And since it's not always the case, that's where men are struggling, because they will find that exception to the rule and want to make that the rule. Okay, so King 6'8" the Great can get into the spirit of never giving, and he can always be in the spirit of receiving, okay, from the woman. That reciprocity is always there. All right, at least that's what we see. But also,
they will find a guy that doesn't produce anything, and he's in the spirit of receiving from women, and he wants to make that the rule. And since they want to make the exception the rule, generally, this is what delays his ability to become who he needs to become as a young man maturing into an older man, because he will waste 5, 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years of hard learning to realize his place. That women do not practice reciprocity immediately. And most men expect them to do it. They don't play the game fair.
Well, I think that's kind of the issue, is that there is, so men understand there are rules to the game. It's just a lot of times these rules are not, like, they change. That's why you have the saying, moving the goalpost. Because women will say, or some women will say, well, I want a man to do this, 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 this. Then you'll get me in my feminine. Then I will be feminine. So a man does all those things, and then she's still not in her feminine. I want a man to communicate, and she doesn't communicate. I want a man to pursue me. I want him to chase me. I want him to do all these things. Okay, so I'm trying to pursue. Well, you're a creep. You know, so the problem isn't necessarily men a lot of times not wanting to do something. It's when the rules based on the situation change. Well, it's just, you just gotta play the game. I don't want to play the game. Either we have like some sort of commonality, like say for instance, a football game or a basketball game. We know the objective is going to be whoever puts the ball in the basket the most times, or whoever gets the ball in the end zone the most times, is going to win. We know that. Period. End of story. Whoever gets the most points will win. But in dating, it is not like that. It is whoever can manipulate the situation and gain the power wins, instead of whoever the two people that can find common ground, common values, and common activities that they want to engage in. Those are the people who win. That's the problem. Modern women are trying to get control and power, and men are saying, well, I just want to, like, let's build together. Like, let's be on the same team. I don't want to build with you. I don't want a man that has potential. I want a man that's already there. Well, I got here by my rules. And so if I got here by my rules and I'm winning, and rather greatly, I would add, I'm doing rather well. If I'm already there, I don't care if you're making $250,000 as a woman. If I'm at $500,000, you're on my time schedule. You're on my time schedule. That's how a lot of men think about it.
Am I just delusional, or people asking other people out on dates is kind of like old school? Like, the last time, I don't even remember the last time someone was like, hey, would you want to go on a date with me? Like, I'm gonna start saying it again. Okay, yeah, people still hang out in a romantic way, obviously, but like, to explicitly ask someone out on a date and use those specific words, especially someone that you don't really know that well, like, that's like a different kind of thing. Like, would you want to go out on a date with me? Like, when was the last time someone asked you that?
I hate when I see a man that's so fine and then I pass him and he doesn't say anything. Like when people say, oh, girls don't shoot their shot. Yes, they do. If I look at you like this, like say you walking this way and I'm walking like this, and if I look at you like this, that's me shooting my shot. Come say something.
Women are failing men. Ladies, the reason that no man is approaching you is because of you, not them. I did the dirty work and asked men why they were afraid to talk to you and got over 5,000 responses. And there was definitely a common theme. Let's read some. I would say fear of rejection and being humiliated in front of everyone. I am not worthy enough to talk to women. I just have nothing to offer them except boring, normal life. Rejection paralyzes me. Current culture feels like I will be perceived as a creep for talking to a girl I don't know. Mostly it's the fear of rejection, like I'm bothering them somehow. Rejection maybe, ending up on TikTok if you get my drift, worried about being judged for not meeting the woman's appearance standards. So to the ladies, do better. The environment that you've created for men is only leading to the singleness that you continue to complain about. And to the men, maybe knowing that these responses were a trend amongst 5,000 of you is a bit reassuring, if anything.
Women cannot resist a man who does this. He walks away from drama instead of engaging with it. He says no without justifying himself. He remains calm even when she's losing it. He has a life that she can't fully access because he knows not everything needs to be shared. He treats her well as long as it's reciprocated. Put simply, men who are irresistible are that way because of choices they consistently make. Want to learn how to become one of them? Comment irresistible below and I got you.
Nag, nag, and that we are essentially responsible for pushing our men away by doing so.
A lot of times we take a position because of our own emotional mechanisms. We harass our men too much. We nag our men too much, and we keep his mind and his head so bundled up and bogged down with all of our personal idiosyncrasies about our day-to-day personal relationship with him that a lot of times we don't free his mind up to go out and to plan sanely for our future and for the future of our children. Many of them come to us every day and they almost have to do a wind test. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who they're going to meet because we have a lot of reactions. We tend to think as black women that a successful relationship and one where we're happy is one where everything goes our way. And the first time it goes another kind of a way, then we go into hell, turmoil in our brain, and we start deciding, oh, I've got terrible problems with this man. He won't do what I want him to do. When our men have a side.
Let me give that side according to Scheherazade Ali, okay? You say in your book,
okay, let's
and I'm quoting you,
Come on.
okay? The black man in America is the only male on earth, including every continent, who is disrespected by the women in his nation.
That's true.
This situation does not exist anyplace else among the billions of people inhabiting our planet except here in America.
That's right.
The other black men, the yellow men, the red men, the brown men, and the white men are all honored and respected by their respective nations. All other women recognize and accept that the man is the authority, the ruler, and the leader. Only here in the United States, in the black nation, scattered throughout the United States, is the black man neglected. That's pretty powerful.
And it's absolutely true. We have been displaced. A lot of us don't really understand what slavery actually did to us and how much psychological trauma it did to us regarding what our proper roles are with each other, what our responsibilities are as man and woman in our various communities and relationships. We have never been debriefed from slavery. Not really. We have just, we know we had that history, but we don't know how it affected us. We don't know how much of our actual culture we lost. How much of our ideas were taken from us. We know that our religion was taken from us. We know that our names were taken from us. But we don't know how many other standards of day-to-day life have been removed. And while we have adopted the American way of doing things, they have not worked for us because we have a very special situation. We are not the same as everyone else. And a lot of the people who want us to pretend that slavery didn't exist or to forget about it, they've never been a slave. So they don't know what we're going through. They don't know what this has done to us. It has made us as black women insecure.
Why not? If that's true, why not take up for us? Why not write something that says we need that?
We've had everybody to take up for us, and we've always had books about black women. How great and how strong we are, and we are that. I'm just saying that we have used our strength in the wrong direction. We have used it against our men instead of standing up for them. And if we start to support our men and to speak a good word for him publicly, then so many people won't be able to come against him and tear him down. And he won't have to feel so frustrated, and he won't be outside away from us looking for peace of mind with women of other nationalities, because we actually want our own black man. We need him back in our homes, and we want to have one. We're just living in a culture where they're trying to convince us that not only do we not need a man, but there are some other options to having one. And those options mainly are celibacy or lesbianism.
There's an old saying that says, charity begins at home and spreads abroad. And
Absolutely.
In your book you say that we are not bringing up our daughters and our sons in a correct manner to respect their fathers.
No, we're not. Unfortunately, as I say, since money has been used as the measure, many times if a black man does not have money to give us, we won't even let him see his children. We won't let him spend any time with it because he does not give us whatever the child support is. And I'm not saying that we don't need money to raise a child, but I try to explain to black women that raising a child consists of much more than feeding, clothing, and sheltering it. That's maintaining one. To raise one, you need a return of the parental coalition of the father and the mother to put the proper values into the child. Many of our boys, when we raise them alone, they grow up with the female emotional mechanism. They are suspicious, they are doubtful, they're disrespectful of womanhood, they are bitchy, they can't make a decision. And many of our girls who grow up in a home where there's no man present, they go out into the world and try to mate. They don't have any idea how to live with a man day to day, how to prepare a proper meal, how to be a mother, how to just be in love in the home. Most of what our people and our children especially have learned about how you have a relationship, they learned off of television. And television doesn't represent our needs. And so a lot of the confusion has come, from outside agencies that we have not recognized just how detrimental it has been to us as a people.
Can I play devil's advocate for just a moment?
Well, I wish you wouldn't, but I know you must. Go on.
Can I play devil's advocate? This could have gone on for longer, but there's no reason to. There's no reason. We get it. You don't want her holding modern women accountable. Now, this looks like it might have been in the 1990s, right? Mid-90s. And even back then, modern women were having a problem being women. They were having a problem. She said, I don't mind talking about the women, but men, we're focused on the men. Modern women have books written about them. They have people helping them. This woman is not listening. All she wants to hear is the men are doing us wrong. It's all about us.
You don't chase women, okay? You don't puppy dog women. You know this, right? And we all know why, because women will leave guys they're not attracted to guys who do that. They're not attracted to they're attracted to men who like having them around, but don't need to have them around.
Who is the unattractive man and why do women ignore him? The unattractive man isn't always ugly. He's invisible. He walks into a room and women don't feel anything. There's no tension, no curiosity, and no pull. Why? Because society trained him to be harmless. He was told, just be nice, respect her, treat her like a queen. And he heard, if I behave, I will be rewarded. So he turns niceness into strategy. He over-texts, over-explains, over-apologizes, and over-gives. And then when he gets rejected again and again and again, he's shocked because he's confused politeness with power, approval with attraction. That's why he does those desperate gestures. The teddy bear, the roses every Friday, the long paragraphs. He's not leading. He is auditioning for a role to be with her. Now look at the attractive man. He's not mean. He's solid. He has standards. He has direction, and he chooses. He doesn't chase. Women respond to the best option in the room. Strength, competence, confidence, and stability. That's called hypergamy, but I call it reality. Either way, winning about it won't change a thing. So stop trying to be liked and start becoming respected. Build your body, make some money, develop your game, have boundaries, and learn to say no, because begging for acceptance is what makes you invisible.
Well, I really think stupid. It's just stupid. So if you go to McDonald's, I want a hamburger. Okay. What do you want? I want a Big Mac. Okay. It's going to be $3. $3? Wait 5 seconds, please. Or wait 2 minutes, please. Here's your Big Mac. I didn't get a drink. You didn't order a drink. I want a drink. $2, please. It's $2. Wait a minute. Here's your drink. I didn't get any fries. You didn't order any fries. $2, please. Here's $2. Wait 2 minutes. Here's your fries. I have a full meal. Through communication and understanding, I have gained a full meal. I have learned the rules. So the next time I come into McDonald's, I'm going to say, I want that thing that you gave me last time. With the drink, the fries, and the Big Mac. What is that? Oh, well, that's that. Instead of saying all of those, instead of ordering all of those separately, you can just order them all together and it's a combo. Give me that. Okay. Man, oof, I really love that combo. Man, if I could have more of that, I'd order it. Okay. They take note of that. So the next time the guy comes in, he says, I want that combo meal, the Big Mac combo. Is that what you call it? Yeah, Big Mac combo. It's going to be $6. Okay. Hey, I remember you said last time you wanted more of that. Yeah, man, if I could get more of that, that would be great. Well, we have something called supersize. What's that? Well, the burger stays the same size, but we give you more of a drink and more fries. Okay. $3. All right. I'll do it. $9, please. I get more, and through communication, depending on the day, depending on what's asked, you want that supersized? No. I learn the rules of how it's supposed to go. I behave and I act accordingly. I move accordingly to the rules. And when I move and act according to the rules, I am rewarded because I followed the rules, because I did the right thing. When I walk around town and I say, hey, James, what's going on, brother? How's it going? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? I'm doing all right, man. Hey, listen, I need a dozen eggs by Friday. Can you do it? Yes, sir. How much you charge for that? Well, a dozen is about $5 per. So that's going to be what? 5 times 5, $25. Okay. I'll give you half now. And when you deliver them, I'll give you the other half. Friday, let's say around 10 o'clock. James pulls up around 10 o'clock and he dumps the eggs. We go through and check them together. This is the 5 dozen. Here's the other part of the 25. Guess what James is going to do? Whenever requested, at 10 o'clock, he's going to bring the 5 dozen eggs. Whenever requested, he's going to collect his deposit and he's going to collect the remainder when he gets over there and he completes the delivery. Because James followed the rules, James was rewarded. So when a woman says, I want a man that's emotionally intelligent, that's emotionally vulnerable, I want a man that communicates, I want a man that shares his feelings, guess what a man is likely going to do? He's going to share his feelings. He's going to be emotionally vulnerable. He's going to try to be emotionally intelligent. But when you come back to him and you say, oh, well, this is not the type of emotional intelligence I wanted. This is not the emotional vulnerability I was looking for. Pull back on that. Okay, I pull back. You pull back a little bit too much. You need to be a little bit more. Okay, I'll be a little bit more. Still a little bit too much. I don't see you as a man and I'm going to leave you. Okay, well, I put too much money into that. All right. Woman says the same thing. Now I'm supposed to be learning from the last relationship. So I take that into the relationship. A woman in general, even though they're different, they're going to want me to be emotionally intelligent, communicate effectively, emotionally vulnerable. So based on what I've learned, I keep on tailoring. But the issue is my resources are depleted because this exchange is not giving me anything. I'm not getting a deposit. So when I deliver something, I actually get nothing in return. So I'm paying double. I'm actually paying for the product that I'm giving to you. Does that make sense? James, the person is ordering. Instead of giving James a deposit for the eggs, so James knows in good faith, hey, I've got something I'm working with, so I don't have to do the work for no pay. James goes there with an incentive that when he does all of the work, he's going to get the rest of the pay, assuming that he does it right. So James, like clockwork, at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., He says, I'm going to collect. I'm going to collect. And that's how his business runs. And they build a relationship. But nowadays, modern women want James to come and say, hey, I want 5 dozen eggs. Okay. And I'm not going to give you a deposit. I want to see if you do it right. So James says, okay, we got to build a relationship. And he does it right. What do you think? I think this is pretty good. Okay. Can I have my pay? Well, I think you should give me a trial. Okay, well, I can't really continue to do this but okay, I need to build clients. So then James goes and does it again. And you say again, this is really good. It's okay, but I'm going to need another delivery. I need a third delivery. And James is struggling because he actually needed the money the first time. And he does it a third time. And this time you burn James again. Now, it's true that James should have learned his lesson really on the first one. But because James is an honest man and he's a nice guy according to your standards, James does it 3 times because James was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt and say, well, they really want to be sure because maybe they got burned in the past, or maybe there was something wrong in the past that happened to them. And so now I want to make sure that I do them right by being on time, giving them this delivery. But unfortunately, you run into a dishonest person. And then you go to the next person and they're dishonest. And then the next person and they're dishonest. And so what you're seeing here is James deciding this town is full of dishonest people. And so James says, I'm going to get up out of here and I'm going to move to another town that has honest people. Not saying that there won't be dishonest, but I can find with relative ease the people that are willing to pay for my product. There's always going to be some bad people here and there, but in this town, in general, I find people that are willing to be honest and do business with me. And then the people well across the way in town B are now complaining that James moved over to town A. Why you move over to town A? Well, town B, you guys are being dishonest. You guys are being dishonest. You guys didn't want to pay me. Well, I just had this and other farmers came through. Yeah, but I delivered though. I gave to you though. And they were good, were they not? Yeah, they were, but they're just missing something. They weren't missing anything. And that's why you have things like the passport bros. I've been giving you everything that you were supposed to have and you still didn't give nothing back to me. That's a problem. That's a problem every day of the week. And modern women continue to act like they do not understand what men are talking about. And so we get videos where they're talking about you're too nice, you're too this, you're too that, you need to fix this, you need to be a man. I am a man. I actually am a man, now that I think about it. Well, you're too nice, you're too this, you're too that. I'm not too anything. I was doing what you asked me to do. I was showing you that I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to hear you. I'm going to try to do as you want. Right? Well, you ain't leading, you ain't this and that. I'm trying to do what you ask me to do. You say you want somebody that serves, that has a heart of a servant. That's what I'm trying to do, to make you happy. I'm going to go out and I'm going to play my game. I'm going to go out and hang out with the boys. But what I want you to do is be honest with me. If you can't communicate, if you can't give back, if you got an insecurity, that's an insecurity with you. That you can't handle a nice guy. That you can't handle a good man. I did what I was supposed to do. Oh, well, you ain't this, you ain't that. The reason we have to tell men, stop being so nice, the reason we have to say, hey man, this is how you handle this situation, is because modern women don't know how to handle a good man. The reason we have to say to you, hey, quit taking her out to that date. This needs to be it, right? You treat her with respect. You treat her with dignity, but this is the line. Don't cross that boundary. Now, you're a grown man. You can do whatever you want to do, but don't cross that boundary. You know why? Because this woman don't got herself together. This woman has an insecurity about her. This woman, even though she's throwing at you therapy speak, has a problem. Therapy ain't working for her. So in order to protect yourself, James, stop doing that. Where are all the good men? Why don't men approach me? Where are all the single guys? Where are all the hot men? I can't find them. Went in the Home Depot. Can't find them. Went to Lowe's. Can't find them. Went over here to the park. Can't find them. Went to the gym. They won't even look at me. Went to church. They were on the other side of the service. Dang, can't find one. Right. Because James has decided it's not worth it to be in town B anymore. He's moved to town A. I will come visit town B from time to time. But I'm not going to stay here. I'm moving. Y'all did it.
Hey, babe. I got a question. Why don't men approach women anymore?
Why don't men approach women anymore?
Yes.
So we're speaking like...
Yeah, just generally speaking, like the overall consensus that I get.
So it's coming from a man?
Coming from a man.
Okay. Men for the last generation have been subtly, continually trained to not approach women. And it's happened over years. Okay? And I think the whole independent woman, the whole feminist movement that impacted the aforementioned movement has made a lot of women in the West very unpleasant. I don't think women, generally speaking, not you or an individual, but generally, respect the presence of the masculine energy. If a man, so what happens is over time, women stop being pleasant because women became less feminine. I think a feminine characteristic is to be welcoming of the masculine energy. Now that does not take away from the fact that men can be ABC 1, 2, 3, but we're looking at this one-dimensionally being that you asked. So over time, the more and more women approach women, the more and more men approach women, the neck rolling, the lip smacking, the he's trying to talk to me, the I'm not gonna say nothing. Over time, that programs a man. So when you couple that in terms of male and female interactions publicly, grocery store, drugstore, on the streets, to where women aren't receptive to masculine energy, what's going to happen? They're going to stop talking to them. And what are men going to do? They're going to look elsewhere. So this is why you see the juxtaposition between a lot of traveling men who juxtapose American women with foreign women. And they always look for the what? More feminine. So what are they talking about? Latin America, Africa, Brazil, Thailand. Okay, now is it that the valuation of women in the West is down? No, but I mean, that's what's happening. You get to the point to where, you don't even want that interaction. Like, I'm not even gonna say nothing to her. So men have been trained to do that. So voila, women were a part of that. Are women to blame? No, I'm not sitting up here saying all women are to blame. But if you are a guy and you always trying to talk to a woman and she's short, curt, don't want to talk to you, what you think's gonna happen? If you keep kicking me, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna stay away from your foot. So what's happening is men are now approaching women in a different type of way digitally. It's easier to DM a woman because you don't have to deal with the rejection of it.
The ego of the
and I
rejection.
think that if we can get to the point where men and women respect each other, if a man, there never should be a reason why a man should speak to a woman and she doesn't speak back, ever. If he's rude, if he's unkind, that's a completely different. I'm talking about just speaking. Do you know how many often that happens? So that's my answer.
That's what y'all think?
I know, they gonna say what they gonna say, but that's what I think.
All right. Go back to work.
Let's talk about how men have adapted to the changes that have come in the dating landscape with women. So in the last 60 or 70 years, since we've had feminism come onto the scene and we've had the sexual revolution, One of the things that women often say is how evolved they have become and how free they are and empowered they are and all of the things that they can do and own and be and have. But what's happened with men? A lot of women criticize the fact that men are not welcoming to all of this evolution, but in fact, they have adapted and women don't like it. It's interesting that women want to evolve into these totally new creatures, but they want to see men stay the same. They want to keep men in the protector and provider box. But women get to be in all of the boxes. So ladies, here is a harsh reality. Men are adapting to the changes that they see in modern day women. And a lot of them are just opting out. A lot of them are making the decision that, they don't want to show up as a traditional man to a new age modern woman because that just doesn't benefit them the same. It doesn't hit the same. So you need to understand that men are going to evolve too. They are going to become less masculine. They're going to become more egalitarian. And a lot of you and your true nature is not going to like it.
Why do men sometimes just stare at us instead of approaching women?
That men just stare instead of approaching because they're nervous. It's really nerve-wracking for a guy to walk up and come talk to a woman like yourself. Men have gotten worse at this as time has gone on. A lot more men used to approach in the past. A lot less men are doing that right now. In fact, over 50% of men, if you ask them that are single, have not approached a woman in the last year. You're single and it's been a whole year since you've walked up to a woman and approached her. I think that's crazy, and you've said in your own life you would like more men to approach you, right?
Yeah, it doesn't mean that I'm always gonna, say yes every time, but I honestly admire the men who do approach me.
Yeah.
Because it happens so little. And even if I say no to a date or something, sometimes I walk away and I'm like, why didn't I just say yes? Because I think about the confidence it took to ask me on a date.
Look, guys are getting out there and they have their ego. They worry about a lot of things. If you walk up and have a good interaction, even if that person is not interested in you, she will feel better after having talked to you. That a lot of guys are so worried about bothering others or embarrassing themselves or, getting rejected that they don't see all of the positives that can occur.
Men don't come up and ask or talk to you anymore.
Why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? The masculinity on earth has diminished.
Y'all dug this hole for yourselves, man. Men was approaching y'all. Y'all told us stop.
Men are really terrified out here, bro, of being labeled as a creep and being inappropriate or like
getting embarrassed in public. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? End up viral because you unasked a woman out in the most respectful way. Like, you know what I mean? So I think men are just choosing their peace at the end of the day. And we're not going to go out our way unless we know that it's 100%. You know how field goal percentage? The field goal percentage got to
be 100.
So we ain't just taking those low field goal percentage shots.
One man's flirt, depending on how he looks and presents, is another man's sexual harassment.
Yes.
And we are not doing a good job as women being able to explain why it's sexual harassment versus being an attractive opportunity. Men are frustrated. Men are not understanding what is the difference and why am I a threat if I'm being kind to you. So because of your behavior, women, I am now going to pull back my finances and resources. I'm now going to reduce my presence. I'm going to reduce my intentions, my efforts, because I don't want what my intentions are in terms of creating connection with you to be misconstrued as sexual harassment because you don't like how I look. I'm not your type.
Why do you think men aren't approaching women anymore?
Why do you think what?
Men aren't approaching women
let me do this one. They're so full of themselves. They literally love themselves. Sorry. They're literally all up in your grill. They just think that they're not that no one wouldn't like them.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody likes you. Make us like you, and then we'll like you.
What can a guy do to make you like him?
Just be nice. How about being nice?
You don't like nice guys. Let's be honest.
No, how about ask a gentleman?
A gentleman?
Ask questions and listen.
Okay.
Listen.
So someone who's attentive. Okay. Listen. Okay. A listener. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Stop telling me to go meet someone in the wild when I go in the wild and someone will be staring at me the whole entire night and won't come say hi.
How many more times is that going to happen? How many more times am I going to be in the bar, playing pool, at the coffee shop, on a walk, and I will be staring down another person who is staring me down, smiling across the table, whatever, and you don't come say hi? Oh my gosh. What am I meant to do, you guys? Am I gonna have, like, we always have to make the first move or something? Because, like, oh my gosh.
Wow, well, what do you know? After the last decade, women have called men creeps for simply approaching them. Well, now, reap what you sow, bitch. This is the bed you made, now lay in it. I swear to God, if I see another freaking bitch complain about how men don't approach them anymore after they spent, like I said, the last decade calling men creeps for approaching them, I'm going to crash the F out, and they don't want to see that. You guys think I'm a hateful bitch now? You haven't seen nothing yet.
Struck up a conversation with this girl that was like from Europe, and she was visiting Toronto, and she just was like, by the way, like, the men here, they just don't, like, they don't approach you. Or like they'll find you attractive and just kind of like do nothing. And I was like, yeah, welcome to Toronto, sis.
Do y'all think that's a product of just society as a whole? Because American women have that same sentiment over the last 5-10 years, been vocal about men not approaching them. So now men are like, all right, well, y'all have been the loudest talking about y'all don't want men to approach us. Don't approach me. Don't talk to me if you see me in public. Like, so now we're following suit, and now it's like, well, y'all not trying to approach. I'm like, which one is it? Like,
I think it's how you approach, though. It's not always just about the approach. I think it's how you approach. Sometimes it comes off a little.
I think it's how attracted you are to the person when they approach you.
I notice females do that. Women do that too. Like if a man's not attracted and they approach them and they're not interested, they're like, oh, this guy's a creep. But if he's fine now and he comes and it's like, oh, okay, like it's a little different. Yeah.
Zero shade, but why don't men ask women out anymore? Like, the guys that I'm meeting, matching with on Hinge and everything else, they're pen paling me. Like, asking me the most absurd questions that I know they don't care the answer to. But, like, why don't you just ask me to hang out, and then we'll see if we actually have chemistry and go from there? Why are you asking me what I did today? And then not planning a date. Please, a straight man in the comments, answer. I'm so frustrated. Like, I don't know what to do. Help.
Why do men not approach me then when I do go out? Well, number one is that you might be with your friends, which creates a level of friction for most guys, and they're not going to put themselves through that. And number two, you might just be unapproachable, meaning you're not open to the next guy starting a conversation with you. Your energy, your face, your RBF, I don't know what it is, but you might not be approachable as you think you are to the next guy that you say that you want to approach you. And the third one, which could be the latter, doesn't mean it's you, is that you might not have a burger that they want to purchase. That just might be true. Harsh to hear, but might be true. Now, I'm not saying this is you, but this is also another common trait that women say, I don't know why guys don't approach me. Maybe if the other two ain't it, maybe it's the latter. Maybe it's you just don't have a burger that they're willing to approach or willing to buy. And that's okay. Then make a burger that they're willing to buy. That's a tough one to hear, but it is the truth. I shoot it straight, ma'am.
Tell me why every day I go out looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me. Ever. Oh my God, like, please. I'll take a fucking construction worker cat call at this point. Please.
Stop! Stop! You gotta go!
I don't like her.
I'm not using
Hey,
you're in a way.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking. You're gorgeous. I'm just telling you, you're gorgeous.
Girls swear that they want men to approach, and then they act like this. Sometimes they are the ones keeping themselves and everyone around them single. Literally nobody wants to deal with energy like that. And look, guys aren't perfect. Clearly this was not the best time, but if it was another dude who's tired of dating apps and tired of feeling lonely, finally worked up the courage to put himself out there, and this is the kind of reaction he got, that is probably his first and last time ever doing that. And the funny part is, I wasn't even talking to her. I was trying to compliment her friend in the back, and she jumps in, starts screaming and making a scene. Classic fridge protecting the snacks. So yeah, you can keep talking about why don't men approach us anymore? But when you act like this, you create the exact reality that you complain about. So when you're sitting in your 30s and thinking, where have all the good men gone? Rewind this clip and you'll have your answer.